Welcome to Jesús Manuel Mena Garza Photography, Video, and Audio. I've been taking pictures since 1963. I've owned quite a few cameras, a lot of analog cameras, Rolleiflexes, various Nikons, Hasselblads, 4x5, 5x7. The list goes on and on and on and on. So, but my current top-of-the-line camera that I use is about 10 years old, maybe even 15 years old. I haven't checked. It's my Nikon D800, and it's a very nice little camera. I like it quite a bit. It has a 36 megapixel sensor. Takes fabulous photographs, and it's a 14-bit photo mode. That's very nice. Its video mode is rather behind the times, especially for a modestly hybrid camera. It only shoots 1080p. I think it's 8-bit, so it's a rather modest camera. Compare that to its contemporary, version would be I would compare it to the Nikon Z8. And that one shoots, again, similar 14-bit photographs, but again, it shoots 12-bit, 8K video, if I remember correctly. That's a big difference. That's a substantial difference. You need a faster processor. For photographs, you need a processor that's mediocre at best, okay? But for video, you need a super processor and super abilities. So let's say, for example, I wanted to shoot some landscape or product with my Nikon D800. I can shoot it, a raw file, get a big raw file, or I could shoot in a bracket mode. Yes, bracket mode, and shoot one that's underexposed, slightly underexposed, perfectly, absolutely flawlessly, perfectly exposed, slightly overexposed, and then overexposed, and bracket those together and get an incredible dynamic range if I was shooting a product or even a landscape. If that landscape isn't too, has any movement to it, if it's just a mountain standing there, no trees, a desert landscape, no problems at all. So it's a very good camera. My Nikon D800. I bought the lens for it when I bought it as a package from Adorama back in the day. I bought the 50mm f1.4 because it's the sharpest lens I could find that would work with this 36 megapixel sensor. Again, the bigger the sensor, if it's a 12 megapixel, 16 megapixel, 20 megapixel, 24 megapixel, 36 megapixel, 40 megapixel, 61 megapixel. And I heard the Sonys are going to be coming out with a 100 megapixel sensor. You need something that resolves those megapixels and doesn't interpolate or cause any issues or make it fuzzy. You don't want a fuzzy big picture. You want a sharp big picture, okay? So, again, I've had no issues using this camera. I photographed many a landscape, edited in Photoshop, had no issues, and I've exhibited these photographs from coast to coast and all over the place, museums, galleries, given lectures about it and stuff like that. No issues with my Nikon D800 camera. The photographs are fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Why would I want a Nikon Z8 or the Nikon Z8? In a few years, it'll be the Z8 II. Yes, I want the Z8 II. It's because it's lighter. It doesn't have that pentaprism on top. When I look through this camera, I look through a pentaprism right here. Hey, a pentaprism. And there's a mirror down here. Every time I take a photograph, it moves out of the way, snap, goes back. That's why it's a DSLR. It's not a mirrorless camera. It's not, mirrorless cameras don't have that mirror that plops out of the way every time you take a picture. So I like my camera, but again, if I sold this right now, I'd maybe get $800 for it. If I wanted to buy a new Nikon Z8, of course I have to buy some lenses for it. It cost me $4,000, and each lens cost about $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. So it's an expensive proposition for this old retired dude. So, but I'm still considering it when I'm procrastinating. I'm very good at procrastinating. Maybe when we move back to the West Coast, should I be so fortunate to move back to the West Coast? That's the dream I have, to move back to the West Coast. And when I start doing my travels and doing my portraiture and doing my, my photographs, infrastructure, group shots and maybe some commercial work, I'm thinking about buying a Nikon Z8 or something similar, or the latest version from Lumix, Sony, those manufacturers, Canon. So that's an option for the future. But right now, I so infrequently do any photographs of that quality, that need that quality. I don't need it that much. I do a lot of YouTube videos, and I shoot it with my, my DJI Pocket 2 to shoot some video, and this camera here, my Lumix G85 with kit lens. It works perfectly fine. It's 8-bit video. I don't need 10 or 12-bit video at this time. When I'm retired, my wife's retired, when I go to the Sierras, when I go to those little towns or in California, maybe some traveling in Mexico, Baja, and throughout the West Coast, maybe even go to the East Coast and back to Europe or who knows where. Maybe then I'll decide to buy a new camera. Maybe. Again, this camera's pretty heavy. It takes up a lot of space. There's also, like the A7R, CR, the Sonys that look like almost like a rangefinder. Those are lighter, and with a small lens, they're pretty compact and easy to travel with. I just came back from Europe. I wish I had a Sony A7 CR with a nice little small zoom. That's about this tall. This tall. Not this tall. This tall. Little zoom, high quality, G Master lens. I would love to have that. But that would have cost me approximately $6,000 for the lens and camera and combo. Maybe $5,000, maybe $6,000 or $7,000, something like that. But that's where it's at. This I already own this. I'm not making any payments. I don't have to spend $7,000, $5,000 getting a new camera. And this takes very good pictures. Very good pictures. Pictures that I've exhibited. Again, I've shown, I've sold these photographs. But it doesn't shoot very good video. So I'm looking for a new hybrid camera, maybe in 2027, 2028. That's a long time. Should I live so long? That's the question this 73-year-old has to say. Should I live so long? So I just want to talk about my camera. It does take excellent pictures. If I was to shoot a landscape that didn't have too many moving parts, not a windy day and all the leaves are going all over the place, I could take a bracketed photograph, again, underexposed, slightly underexposed, perfectly exposed, slightly overexposed, and bracket those in Photoshop. It'll take an absolutely fantastic, incredible dynamic range. Photograph. Even in the standard, just taking one photograph in RAW 14-bit with this camera, it's still very, very good. Especially photographs of people, portraits, events, decaying infrastructure, stuff I like to photograph, and once in a while, a landscape. So this is Jesús Manuel Mena Garza talking about the photographs of his dreams, this camera of his dreams. Again, my goal is when I move back to the West Coast, I'm going to make several purchases. At least that's the plan. Again, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but these are my plans. Plan to get a new camera, maybe the latest iteration of the Nikon Z8 or the Lumix or the Sony or the Canon cameras. And with several lenses, that should, take money out of my wallet. Here's my money. Thank you very much. Here's $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for the camera, plus lenses and stuff like that. And so that's the plan. And of course, I'm also thinking about getting a new printer. My old printer conked out, my old Epson printer. Maybe get a new printer. I heard the ET8550 printer, the dye-based printer with, by the way, the black and white photographs coming out use pigmenting. Wow, that's very good. And buying something like that, to share my photographs for my exhibitions and stuff like that, to make prints and sell those prints, stuff like that. That's the goal. Maybe there'll be the version, the ET8550, maybe it'll be the 1, maybe a 2 or 3 or Mark 4, or who knows what the hell they're going to call it. I'll buy that version. And I like the idea of affordable, refillable inks. I like that very much. I don't print that much color, to be honest with you. And prints lasting 50 years under archival conditions is still pretty good. Still pretty good. Again, if you put a print, even if it's pigment-based, and you put it in a window and it's constantly exposed to a lot of light, a lot of lumens, it's going to fade. It's going to fade. But if you put it in a little box and show it once in a while or have it in a dimly lit room, it should last quite a while. I know this from experience. Hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza talking about cameras, what you need to spend. Again, my last trip, I was in Europe for about 5.5 weeks. I would have really loved a small little camera like a Sony A7CR with a little wide zoom, not a gigantic zoom, a little wide zoom, maybe about 3 inches, not too big. I would have loved to have toted that around and taken some pictures, and that would have been amazing. 61 megapixels. Hey, 61 megapixels. It's nothing to sneeze at. Hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza. Thanks for watching my video. That's my commentary, my opinion. Hope you find it valuable in determining what you're going to be photographing. Again, I can take absolutely fabulous photographs with my Nikon D800. I picked this 50mm lens for this camera when I bought it because it has high resolving power. This camera has a big sensor. It doesn't do good to have a lens that only works with these kind of sensors. It works with the big sensor. It works with the 36 megapixel sensor, this lens, and it's super, super, super sharp. I've exhibited them in galleries and stuff like that, 2 feet by 4 feet, and they say, hey, that's a nice photograph. That's a really nice photograph. I like that photograph. It looks fabulous. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you have any questions, leave your kind and friendly comments below. Ask me any questions you want about photography. I've been taking pictures since 1963 when I went to the San Jose flea market in San Jose, California, and bought a little Brownie twin lens reflex. A very nice camera indeed. Again, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to check out my website. It's right here somewhere. JMMGarza.com. There's a QR code where you can scan with your, your phone and say, hey, it gives you a link to my website. And you can check out my photographs and go, why are they all out of focus? Can't you focus? Of course, all my photographs are in focus, and they're all pretty sharp. I'm a stickler for quality and photographs to a certain extent. I grew up influenced by some great photographers in the Bay Area. Ansel Adams, Ed Weston, Imogen Cunningham, of course, Hiroshi Sugimoto, and one of my favorite photographers is Richard Avedon. Those are fabulous photographers. Those are the pinnacle of photography to me, and I aspire to produce images that are of a good enough quality, similar quality, or, in the future, maybe with my new camera, I can do that. Maybe. Nah, it's all about technique. It's all about composition. It's all about subject matter. And of course, marketing. Thanks for watching my video. This has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza. So don't forget you could become a Patreon subscriber, patreon.com/JMM Garza. And I'll have links in the description to some of my websites, stuff like that. And you can become a member of this channel also in other ways and help me defray some of my costs. Camera equipment is super, 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 super expensive. I am not Elon Musk. I am not Jeff Bezos. I'm not any of these people with some serious cash. I just am a regular guy, retired, who likes to take photographs and exhibit his photographs and sell his photographs once in a while. I did own a photo studio in Silicon Valley for many, many, many years. Thanks for watching my video. This has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza talking about his Nikon D800. It's gonna have to suffice for a while. I'm gonna be taking pictures for quite a while. I'm on my next trip. I'm gonna take some pictures with this. I'll put it on a tripod. I'll take some photographs with it. It should come out pretty good. Has in the past, should in the future. It's a very, very good camera. But there are better cameras that are hybrid cameras that can shoot 8K video. This shoots standard 1080p video. I would like to shoot some high quality video. What do you think? Thanks for watching my video. This has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza in Fort Worth, Texas. Don't forget to ring the bell. Here you are. For future notifications, gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.